Good morning and good Shabbos. Oh, so we are still counting the Omer between Passover and Shavuos. Today marks the next week of Yesod, which is foundation, steadiness, um, support of all the other qualities. Um, and we're in the Chesed, the loving kindness towards that quality. And what I'd like to lead us through in our practice this morning um, is mindfulness, being aware of how this being is expressing itself in life. And I learned a four-part practice from one of my main teachers, Rabbi Jeff Roth, um, for cultivating this quality, because it takes a lot of focus to be mindful in all areas. So he developed this practice partly with the quality of Hod, because that's the quality of, he associates it with beauty and structure. But I think it really applies today. And it applies to my own recent experience of needing to be mindful of my own body, which I'll talk about more maybe later. So the practices begin with 4 mindful breaths, noticing breathing in any way that you do, noticing the air going in and out through the nose or through the throat, or the belly expanding and contracting naturally as it does with natural breathing. We're not forcing any particular type of breathing, just whatever the body is needing to do for 4 breaths. And we try to stay with those 4 breaths. And then we move to noticing bodily sensations, or even the whole body, how it sits in this position where you happen to be in the meditation position, if you're sitting, and feeling the weight of the body on the chair or whatever's supporting you, the floor or the chair. Feeling, you could do a body scan, just noticing different aspects of the body and kind of how they are this morning. What's going on with your body? Saying hello to your body. For 4 breaths, about the same amount of time, and you can kind of get a sense of the length of the 4 breaths, but you're focusing on the whole physical body, and any part of your body that needs attention. And then from there we turn to the emotional aspect of our experience, and that can be expressed in the body. It could be, it could be a lightness, feeling light. It could be a smile that comes to your face. It could be a sadness in the heart. It could be anxiety, anticipating something. Whatever it is, this is your time to pay attention to that, to listen to that, watch it. And, remembering Chesed, remembering loving kindness, with the loving awareness and the sympathetic awareness to whatever emotion is going on. So that's another 4 breaths. And then the last 4 breaths, the last part of this cycle, is just what's called open awareness. You may, to help get into that, you may notice the sounds in the room, the air quality in the room, whatever energy is surrounding you, just some kind of overall sense of where you are. It could be on the physical level, any other level. This open awareness for 4 breaths, the equivalent of. And then we start again with the breathing, focusing on the breath, and then focusing on the body, focusing on the emotions, and the open awareness. And what happens, what may happen through the course of this practice is the one constant. So what's the one constant? You are the observer. We are the noticer. We are the knower of what is being observed. We are the knower of what is being known, what is being shown to us. We are able to be the one observing. So it helps to cultivate the ability to be not the victim of whatever's happening, but the noticer of, and with compassion and loving kindness, the noticer of what our life experience is. And this is a key to freedom. More of that maybe later. But that's kind of the underlying rationale for cultivating mindfulness, is that we become the observer, and we, along with God, we align with God as the observer, the knower. God is all-knowing, right? That's one of the names for God, is the all-knowing. So we align with that aspect of us. We're in the image of God. So we're the all-knowing, or the all-observing, at least, of our own experience. All right, so I'm going to time us once again for 30 minutes, and let's see you after that. If you're watching this that's already recorded, it's after the bell. This will be a time to put your device on pause and time yourself, or sit yourself for however many cycles of this, and then when you're ready, we'll come back and I'll ring the bell when the 30 minutes are up in the live Zoom. And you may notice that you'll do this for a while, and then you may just be in the zone where you'll just be there, and you don't have to keep it up for the whole 30 minutes. But this is what we're starting with. Welcome back. I hope that was interesting for you. was a little bit of an effort for me to keep it up the whole time. But when I tried to let myself go off a little bit, I found I was losing my focus. So I came back to the structure, which I found very helpful for keeping my attention uh, in awareness and in mindfulness of the present experience, being present. It was so interesting to notice the change through the various cycles. So I'm allergic to, I don't know, the environment. And at one point, when I got to observing the physical, I felt like an itch in my throat and desired a need to cough. I just noticed it and went to the emotion and the open and the breathing and came back, and it's like felt this. It started to transform. It was like a almost like a burning sensation in the back of my throat, and I noticed craving. I noticed that in the emotions that I really wanted, I wanted a cough drop. So I noticed the wanting, and then went on and came back. And at one point, I noticed that it wasn't there anymore. That the desire to cough, the itching in the throat, wasn't there anymore. And it was a little bit of a satisfied feeling that by being the knower and not being the victim of this allergy, I didn't have to rush up and get a cough drop. I could just notice it and go on, notice it again, and go on, and notice it again. As it changed, and it almost felt like the saliva became the cough drop, and it wasn't needed, and now I don't feel that at all. And then I'm still noticing, right? So this is very useful, a useful technique to cultivate in life. It keeps us from having to be reactive. Something, you walk into a situation and maybe there's an emotional reaction or an emotional response of having to do something or feeling like an impulse to do something. And we always have a choice. We have a choice to just watch the emotion. It doesn't have to rule us. If we are in the knowing, if we're able to get into the knowing mode, that's enough. And then the conscious faculty of wise choice can come into play, and a decision can be made how to respond, and we're not impulsively reacting. This could be really useful. There are a lot of more uses that can be gained from cultivating this quality of loving mindfulness and enjoying one's life, enjoying the changes, enjoying the emotions, enjoying the open awareness. That was, to me, the most fun. Just like, home free, just like be. And so I'll be interested at some point in learning more about your experiences. And for today, thank you for joining me, and Shabbat Shalom.